Mark, thank you. The Johnson City Chamber is teaming up with the City of Johnson City to host the area's first ever Civics Bee. It's a competition for middle school students all across the volunteer state. Here to tell us a little bit more about it is the Chamber's Director of Marketing and Communications, Reeves, and Johnson City's Director of Public Affairs, Keisha Shoun. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, first off, tell us what exactly is a Civics Bee?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a program of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation. Started 2 years ago, and it is a competition for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in any state to basically flex their civic skills. Started 2 years ago with just 6 states, and now we're up to 22 states, and Johnson City is happy to work with the city this year to bring it to our state.
And so, like we said, this is for middle school students, but I know that there's an application process. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's 6th, 7th, and 8th graders all across the state. If you're from here to Memphis, you can apply to ours. And it's a 500-word essay is the first part. So you submit a 500-word max essay. So if you don't want to do 500, you can do a little bit less, a couple paragraphs about a civic issue and then how you can use a civic virtue like a democracy value to fix it in your community. So you submit that. We're taking applications for that now. And then after that, a team of some community leaders are going to judge them, and we're going to choose 20 participants to participate in a live event, which is kind of a spelling bee style. Instead of spelling words, you're going to answer some civic questions.
So tell us, how does the city come into play with all of this?
Well, we are so excited to bring middle schoolers into the civic education process. We really focus on having a continuum for civic education that starts at a young age. We do games with kids about government terms and like charades or Pictionary. We go through high school with Gov All Out, which is a very intensive government day. We do JC 101, which is a civic education course for adults. And so now we've got the middle school component so that we can really just capture our youth and bring up an informed and engaged citizenry.
And I know that you said this is kind of like a spelling bee style competition. What are some things that maybe could come up in this?
So it could be anything from, who was one of our founding fathers to what are the 3 branches of government, some simple things. But I've heard it can get a little in depth with some things. There's going to be a study guide, and it's going to go into the depths of, what is our democracy and how do we as citizens play into that.
And I know that, the city also talks about how, they want to bring up engaged citizens, but what about the chamber? Why is it important for the chamber to host events like this?
Absolutely. One of our pillars of the chamber is advocacy. We want a well-informed business community, people who know their local officials and who they know who they elect and how they affect your business. And the same thing with the city. We want our community to be well-informed citizens, and middle schoolers that's where the trend is right now. 61% of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders would rather give up their right to vote than their right to social media. And when Keisha and I heard that, we were pretty scared.
Yeah, that's a rough statistic.
It's a rough statistic, it is. So we want to start this civic education young for these people who are our future business leaders and who are our future voters.
We have work to do, but they are so smart. I mean, the students that we work with through the Gov All Out program and others, we are blown away every year by the way that they think and the depths that they think. So we just can't wait to see what the middle schoolers come up with in these essays.
All right, one more time, let's talk about when these deadlines are and how people can find out more information if they need it.
Absolutely. So the deadline for submitting your essay is January 8th, so in the new year. You've got a little bit to get it in, and then the live event is actually going to take place on April 13th at the Langston Center. It's going to be 10 a.m. to noon, so that'll be the live spelling bee style event. But the process right now, we're encouraging people to submit their 500-word max essays by January 8th.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both for joining us here on First at 4 today.
Absolutely.
And again, the National Civics Bee is happening at the Langston Center on April the 13th. All 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students are welcome to participate in this competition. Top 3 will actually win some cash prizes ranging from $125 to $500. Anyone wanting to participate, again, has to submit a 500-word essay. The portal to submit is open now, and it closes on January the 8th.